they finally fixed Mysterio. We got a patch the other day that apparently fixed his passives, which were not working correctly, and we could verify that with tests to other characters in the team preview. So we're going to do a review of his summer uniform now. We're going to start off with the generic leadership and remind ourselves Cynicalex is just under 50,000 energy attack with 49,227. And then if we slap on Mysterio and we check out his passive, which gives all villain allies 30% attack and 40% increased damage dealt to boss types, you can now see that Cynicalex is rocking 54,000. So he gains about 4,000 energy attack, which is very, very good. So now that his passives are working, we're going to go ahead and test out Mysterio. Just to recap the build here really quickly, we have no Odin's Blessings. It's not the best setup, I know. Just bear with me here. Rank 4 type enhancement for what it's worth. We have stage 12 Power of Angry Hulk. We have a 3-star artifact, which does give him a 5% ignore dodge. Whoa! And then some increased damage to heroes, but he doesn't use that because he's fighting villains most of the time. And then a regular CTP of Judgment. Now, I do think Mysterio is proc friendly. I do think he's proc friendly. I think with a 3 delay cancel, 4 cancel, 5, you can get all of the hits in and you can proc. So I do think that this works. And as you can see here, it is a very nice 255 hits on 3 targets, which is over 80 hits on each target. So 80 hits on a proc-friendly rotation. You just have to do a slight delay on 3. Otherwise, you don't get those water bursts shooting up. If you just do an instant cancel on 3, as you can see here, you do get the 4 and the 5, but you do not get the plume. So it's actually not that many hits. Actually, we hit a 4th target, so it was more hits. But you just want to do a slight delay on 3. And there's no hits at the beginning. There's no hits at the beginning of 3. So very, very proc-friendly. I certainly think he could be proc-friendly. It might be a little bit less than 80 hits now that I see that other guy in the back there. But yeah, just so you know, you don't have to rock a Judgment. You could rock a Mighty Destruction. You could rock an Energy. But anywho, let's check him out. Now, with nothing more than his own passives, can Mysterio, with a little delay on 6, can he do stage 39 of Null? This is the first place that I like to test new villains that are not tier 4 because this was oftentimes a very difficult stage to clear. And holy crap, is he just destroying it. And this is with a regular Judgment. Because I remember even when I had a lot of Pierce, like 19% Pierce and stuff like that, this was still a pretty difficult stage for characters like, at the time, right? Characters like a Moonstone. But this is really impressive. So he does have a lead, right? I mean, he does have a support passive, but it's his own support passive. So basically with nothing, because Ulix, newsflash here, Ulix doing nothing, and Vulture's doing nothing. He has the strikers here, but he doesn't even have ignore dodge, because there's no villains ignore dodge, right? We're going to do 6 here, because we get the iframe ignore. So you do have some flexibility in how you play him, although you probably still do want to do... you want to land on 5. 5 does more damage, as you can see, than 6 does. Man, he's good. This is really, really impressive. Holy. And then you can just flash away with the V-pad. I love V-pad skills, guys. I gotta say, when they make a character strong and they give them a good V-pad, I am such a lover of that. I'm such a supporter of that. And you can flash away, right, to then interrupt Null so that he can't go into his next attack. We're going to pop 6 here and let this play out because we're going to then go... Look at this. Look at this. We keep him in the iframe the whole time. We keep Null in the iframe the whole time because all of those hits from all of those skills are all iframes. 3, 4, 5, and 6 for Mysterio are all iframes. Wow. This is really good. So he could absolutely do a 100-second challenge here. Absolutely. With worse cards, with worse swords, and a couple of supports. Right? Because we're using literally nothing. We're not even using an energy attack lead. And like, think about that. We could be using Enchantress, who synergizes perfectly with Mysterio because of the fact that she deals the mind damage, right? She has that mind damage buff. So imagine we had all of those buffs, how much faster Mysterio would be flying through this. Look at that shit, bro. He blew that out of the water. Are you kidding me? Just over 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 14 seconds. He ripped that. All right, I know it's the same stage, but just for fun, we're going to give him his absolute best team. The absolute best team for Mysterio. This is quadruple support. It's Mysterio's support. It's Enchantress's, both of Enchantress's supports because of the mind damage and because Mysterio does mind damage. And it's Green Goblin's lead and Green Goblin's support. So this is the full stack. Okay, it literally cannot get better than this unless we had like a brilliant insight. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, just casually two-shotting. No big. Yeah, just a 15-second stage 39. No biggie for a tier 3 villain who hadn't had anything reworked on him since, what, 2019? Yeah, no big here. No big here. Nice burst damage, as you can see off the rip there. No iframe ignore, but we still get 3 bars of damage, which is not bad at all. We're going to go ahead and save the 6 skill because, honestly, I don't need it. I don't need the 6 skill. Yeah, that's how good this is. And I was actually tempted. Look at that. Almost a bar of damage with the V-pad, and that's off proc. I certainly think you want to rock a Judgment. I don't think that one is really, if you want to play like this. But holy shit, bro. He is just ripping null. He's ripping null. Can we burst him down and dodge the cage? Oh, hell yeah, we can dodge the cage, baby. Let's go. There are few things in this game that I love more than seeing characters get massive glow-ups. And this is certainly one of them. Look at that burst, boys. Look at that burst. We're not quite going to get it there. I was really trying to... I just kept getting interrupted. I was really trying to get that last bit of burst damage. But look at that shit, boys. A minute 15. A minute 15. And I guarantee you could get that down. I guarantee you if you play a little bit better and you get a little bit luckier with some of the phase changes, you could hit that shit in 60 seconds. That is so dirty. Okay, so he's obviously got some talent as a damage dealer himself. Is he as good as tier 4 Magneto? Obviously not, right? He's not going to be able to compete at tier 3 with tier 4s. However, consider how good Magneto was at tier 3. Of course, level 80 makes a big difference, but at level 70, Magneto had neither the damage nor the survivability of a Mysterio. Mysterio has decent healing, as well as a V-pad skill, which Magneto doesn't have, as well as 66% damage reduction. I feel bad kind of focusing in on Magneto, but he's literally the only other Blast villain. So I'm not trying to pick apart Magneto or say that he's bad in any way. He's a very strong character at tier 4, and he's absolutely meta. I'm just saying at tier 3, Mysterio is very impressive as a damage dealer. And then furthermore, he is a support. So if we take a look at his support passive, which I already covered at the beginning of the video, but just to remind you, all supervillain allies are getting 30% attack, and then they're getting 40% increased damage dealt to boss types. So this is important for 2 reasons. One, it's a very strong effect to all supervillain allies, whether they're male, female, Blast, whatever. Secondly, if you take a look at Blast villains, you will see, holy shit, is this a short list. This is a very short list of characters. Now, there's only, what, 2 female characters at all. That's crazy, right? As far as Blast villains goes, there's only 2 females. One of them happens to be a support, Enchantress. That's amazing. She just got her support recently. However, if you look at all of the other characters, so -2, they're all males. They're all males. And Mysterio is the only one with a support. Besides Ebony, whose support is not nearly as good, although it's a bit more flexible for PvP. And then Ulysses Claw has a sort of support with the crit damage. But even for Ebony, he's not originally typed as a Blast. He's originally a Universal that they changed to Blast. So Mysterio really represents a very, very rare type of character. Because if you look at almost any other combination of characters, like if we take combat villains, there's so many more supports here, right? You have Titania, you have Taskmaster. Okay, you kind of only have Titania and Taskmaster for now, but we'll get more supports in the future. Black Dwarf's technically a support for the Black Order. Anyways, you sort of get my point. I digress. It's a very rare thing to get Blast male villain supports. So then if we take a look at the ABX guide here, we can see where Mysterio is going to fit himself in. So for Blast male, you can now slot in, if you're using Magneto instead of Iron Man, which you probably should be at this point because he out DPSs Iron Man by a lot. And the issue for most people was that, Magneto doesn't have the supports that Iron Man has, because as you can see here, people were using Coulson, right? They were using Coulson to support Iron Man. You don't need to do that anymore. Mysterio replaces Coulson. So now you can rock a team like this and take advantage of keep taking advantage of Cyclops, but now you can take full advantage of Magneto, and he probably still outperformed Iron Man without the support, but now on top of that, he has the support. We're going to zoom in here so you guys can see this a little bit better. But yeah, Blast Male Day is the first day, and this is just ABX. this is just ABX. Then when we slide over to the ABL side, it gets even better. Because on ABL, you have the Blast Villain Male. And this day was begging, struggling, crying out for a support. And now, of course, we get the coveted, the absolutely mint Mysterio to go ahead and buff Magneto even further. And we replace what was literally nothing with either, you know, Red Skull, Mr. Sinister, or Mephisto. Fantastic value top to bottom for this character. And then you can even use him on other content. Like if you wanted to, for whatever reason, right? If you wanted to get even more value out of him, you can pair him up. Check this out. I mean, I know characters like Dazzler exist, etc. They're not bad options at all. But what you could do for no restriction is you could bring back Magneto again. And this just goes to show you the value. And you could bring in Enchantress. And then you can run this crazy triple team. Now, I'm not saying that you should necessarily do that. And I'm not saying that that makes Mysterio's value better, because again, you're just sort of pairing him with Magneto, which is kind of like, you know, okay, yeah, Magneto. But it's still, you know, very impressive. But then you forget there's one more day, right? We talked about Blast Male, but there's also Blast Villain. So now again, you use Magneto as the lead, right? And you bring back Mysterio again. So 1, 2, potentially 3 days, at least 2, potentially 3 days of ABX plus a day of ABL, all wrapped into a support character who has a rare typing combo and is a staggeringly good, for a tier 3, a very good, or sorry, transcendent, whatever, damage dealer in and of himself. I think this is an absolutely massive win of a uniform. It is a seasonal uniform, so just keep in mind, once it's gone off sale, you will not be able to pick it up until next year. So I know the FOMO is high. I apologize if I sound very FOMO-ish, but I think this is very close to a must-buy uniform. Very close. I think the only way this uniform is not close to a must-buy is if you do not care about ABX, ABL at all, and you do not compete in those game modes at all, and you can already hit your minimums and your scores to get all of the rewards that you want, and you're sort of just, you know, cruising through that content. If you're cruising through that content, then yeah, you can skip Mysterio. But if there's any reason at all that you're not and you want to do better, I think this is a must-buy. If you love the way his skills look, which honestly they're absolutely gorgeous, then I think this uniform is very close to a must-buy. If you want another villain support, because we need more villain supports, we have many fewer villain supports than hero supports, then again, his uniform, very close to a must-buy. And frankly, I'm really happy that they made this uniform so good, because in past years, the male uniforms for the summer stuff have not been good. Okay, in past years, they have been shit like this, which is just not very good. Not very good at all. Or shit like this, which was good for a time, but then also got replaced. Or shit like this, which again, also wasn't very good. So I'm really happy with what they did for Mysterio. It's a summer uniform, so keep in mind it's never going to be on sale. It's never going to be 40 or 50% off, and it's only available for the next, whatever, 15 days, and then it's gone for a year. So, you know, think carefully. But anyways, hopefully this review has helped you. If you want to see more content on Mysterio, over 70,000 energy attack, holy shit. I'll do another video on Mysterio. Maybe we'll gas him up to a mighty and see how high we can push him. But I wanted to cover his full value as a character, not just as a DPS. So that's why the DPS showcase had to be a little bit shorter. Anyways, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button. It helps out the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.